Dak Prescott era is upon us. At least I would hope not. Oh my God. Dan Wetzel took to Twitter, one of the great writers on Yahoo Sports, and he was asking roughly what percentage of Cowboy fans believe that Dak Prescott should be starting over Tony Romo in week 1. We're going to get just into preseason game number 3 for the Cowboys against the Seahawks and give you some information about that. But Wetzel's tweet, he said it was close to 40% of Cowboys fans really believe that Dak Prescott should take the first snap on week 1 of the Cowboys season. I'm going to tell you, for one, why that is insane, unless Tony Romo is actually injured. So Romo took 3 snaps against the Seahawks in Thursday's preseason game, right? Week 3 of the preseason. Tony Romo got crunched in the back, right, on one of the plays, and he went down. He came up holding his back. According to Jerry Jones, according to Tony Romo, and according to, I'm going to actually throw to RotoWire and their injury breakdown of it. So, Corey, if you don't mind, this is number 7 to give you the update on Tony Romo before we get into Dak Prescott. Because it doesn't seem too serious, but you really never know. Per the report, Romo even lobbied to return to Thursday's contest and did not require x-rays, though the Cowboys are said to be mulling whether or not the QB might require an MRI or further testing. Anytime a player with Romo's injury history, which includes previous back procedures, goes down reaching for his lower back, as he did Thursday, there's going to be concern. However, in this case, owner and GM Jerry Jones indicated that Romo's back soreness would not prevent the signal caller from being ready for week 1. If Romo is ready, Romo is your starter, because we're going to throw to Cowboys graphic number 3, which is how bad and horrific the Cowboys are in the regular season without Tony Romo. Record with 39-27, 25.5 points per game, 370 yards per game. Passer rating 98.8 without Tony Romo. Holy effing hell. 1-13, 16.5 points per game. Everything dips significantly. Now, the Cowboys starters in the past have not shown an aptitude in preseason football that Dak Prescott has. So Dak Prescott, let's just take a look at his box score from yesterday. This is graphic number 2. Dak Prescott, for the 3rd straight week, 17-23, 116 yards, a touchdown. He's avoiding sacks. His rating is high. He's been doing this through week 1 and week 2. He's been putting balls right in the pocket, letting them float right in there. Jason Witten also bailed him out a little bit on some of the passes yesterday. He threw a couple short, but no quarterback is perfect. There's one major issue with Dak Prescott taking the opening snap if Tony Romo is ready in week 1. Dak Prescott has proven nothing.
It's preseason.
It's preseason football. Yes, the Seahawks threw some of their first stringers at him, a little bit, but before that, he's facing against third stringers lobbying for a job on the field. There is a major difference between preseason football and regular season football. I would actually go as far to say that the preseason of the NFL is the worst indicator of the 4 major American sports when it comes to predicting a season. You just mentioned to me, who'd the Chargers beat yesterday?
I was in San Diego, and the aura of the victory, it still sat well with the Chargers fans, because when you are watching a team that has been somewhat tortured in recent terms, you want to grasp at every victory you possibly can. But it's preseason. It's irrelevant. They beat the Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
So
the Chargers better than the Cardinals this year, Francis.
It's impossible. Either way,
better.
It's preseason. It's as irrelevant as baggy jeans in my cupboard. They will never count for anything. Irrelevant.
What do you keep?
Irrelevant.
What do you keep in your cupboard, man?
Baggy jeans. Why would I use baggy jeans? 'Cause I'm a tight jean man. Either way, what it does give you is an inclination.
You put food in a cupboard.
In my wardrobe cupboard. Same thing.
The Indian in the cupboard.
It's in the cupboard. Either way, preseason it's not a strong inclination. It is an inclination as to perhaps some players that you want to look at. Like if you see Ezekiel Elliott perform reasonably well,
right.
What you have at the moment is an Ezekiel Elliott coming off the back of a college reputation. So yes, if you watch him in a preseason game, which is against NFL players, whether they're fighting for a starting spot or not, it's a good inclination as to whether or not he will be able to make the jump well. But it's not the be-on, end-all. I'm not sitting there looking at his reception, and I'm not sitting there looking at his performance and thinking, it's it. I'm definitely drafting him come Sunday when it's a TYT Sports draft day for our Fantasy Football League, because he had a great preseason game, or he performed very well. I'm going to take it as an inclination as the percentage of him It's a higher percentage of him performing well during the season. A higher percentage. It's not. I'm not convinced. That's it. That's preseason. I'm not convinced as to this being an example that it's going to set precedent for the rest of the season. How many times during preseason we watched last year? Jared Haynes. Is it Jared?
Oh,
Haynes?
for the running back for the 49ers. 49ers. He came over from
moving
rugby.
over from rugby, and he was destroying people.
Yes.
Destroying people in preseason. And how well did he do during the regular season?
Not too well. Francis, you can put a third grader behind the Cowboys offensive line, and they'd find a way to run for 1,000 yards because that line is huge. I don't mean to downplay the Cowboys. Obviously, a lot of people know I'm a New York Giants fan, but one person I have always backed up, as much as I back up LeBron James, is Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Tony Romo is a phenomenal elite quarterback in the NFL. No, he has not gotten them to the point of winning a Super Bowl, but there are not many quarterbacks better than Tony Romo, and I can tell you, yeah, you want him more than you want Joe Flacco. I think I'd believe that. I'm going to talk myself in or out of it at some point during this clip. But, and let's just keep in mind, Cowboys fans, too, you were one terribly botched call away during the Packers from moving to the NFC Championship. So, and Tony Romo got you there in the first place. You are a terrible team without Tony Romo behind center. And I don't mean to downplay Dak Prescott and his phenomenal preseason performance, but until he does anything like we've seen in any regular season game, I don't buy it for a second. I think it's good and it's nice, and I think you should be optimistic that in Tony Romo's absence, you have someone better than, who was it, Brandon Weeden last year was playing for the Cowboys? They had a 3-quarterback circus. Yeah, I believe for Kellen Moore and Brandon Weeden, definitely you want someone at least that's promising like Dak Prescott to be under center instead of the Brandon Weedens and Kellen Moores of the world. But who you really want, who gives you the best chance of winning a Super Bowl this year, is Tony Romo. So protect him. You have a giant offensive line. Don't let him get cracked in the back. Blindside tackle. Do your job.
There was also a really good GIF that I stumbled across on Facebook that we're going to throw up. It was the infamous Rick and Carl scene from The Walking Dead where he starts crying, and it's like when you find out your son is a Cowboys fan. The way it played out was great. Take a look.
America's team. Also, Ezekiel Elliott, this is the story that frustrates me the most out of all the Cowboys news. Here's a TMZ video. Somebody was recording themselves at, I forget the name of the marijuana dispensary in the state of Washington where it is fully legalized. But have a look because they pointed out Ezekiel Elliott was there browsing around. This is element number 5.
Urban legends. Look at all these legends. Oh, little Jimmy. Come on, dog. Where's your nugs at? Where's your nugs at, homie? This is your kind of joint.
He's obviously not giving a shit.
So, headlines, Jerry Jones, he said, quote, it's not good at all, it's not good. No, he did not buy any marijuana from the dispensary. Eyewitnesses have reported that he was not purchasing anything. No. Yes, it is fine that he was in a marijuana dispensary where it is completely freaking legalized in the state if you're not going to buy anything. That's like accusing somebody of going into a gun store and buying a gun when, I don't know what kind of reference I was going to
say, it's not the same, it's different. It's not like he went into a whorehouse and didn't purchase a hooker. Like, you're still there, so therefore you can punish someone for doing that.
No, that's fine. You could be in a freaking whorehouse and not purchase a hooker and you come outside of it. If you didn't do anything wrong, you can't browse around? No, like definitely not. No. Why not?
You're about to get ripped. Ja'Cory,
why can't you browse?
Ja'Cory, let me put my feet up for this.
Isn't that called a strip club?
Please take this away. Please take this away, Ja'Cory.
Ja'Cory,
please take this away.
Are you serious right now? Are you hold the fuck on.
Hold on. You can't browse. If you go into one and you don't buy a girl and you just...
Why would you be there? There are so many there are motherfucking free parks that you can go to. If you want to spend your dime taking a fucking lovely stroll through a fucking... Like, why would you go to a fucking dispensary just to hang out? You kidding me? You can go to Ralph's if you just want to hang out, bud. Where the fuck... Why would you...
First of all...
Why would you go to a place that jeopardizes your NFL... Like, what do you... No. Cut it out. You're going to hang out in a dispensary just because knowing your league for forbids it, why would you do that just to do it, to put yourself at risk?
First of all, did you see how many people were in that shop? According to the reports that were surfacing, one is that it's a very popular destination for people that are near Seattle to go check out. Two, if you're not buying anything and you are just browsing, what's the fucking harm?
Okay.
Right. So my point is, why would you be in there if you were just browsing?
Because
who goes to weed shops to browse?
Like the first, maybe he's never been in one before. It's fully legalized.
Allow me to play devil's advocate for the situation where he's in the weed store, right? Where he's in a dispensary. Yes, it doesn't paint him in a good image. In the NFL specifically, where we know how ridiculous their policies are when it comes to catching anyone with weed or testing anyone randomly, don't put yourself into that situation.
Don't do it.
My reference of the whorehouse, Jason, still stands. No matter whether you're not buying, you do not go in to a whorehouse, because even if you don't buy, you're still in that shady, shady place, which, Jason, is not legal to even be there in the first place. So that's
even in the state of Washington.
Even in the state of Washington. That's what I'm stating. That's my example.
So I'm going to get painted in a bad light if I walk down the red light district in Amsterdam.
No, that's fine, because it's legal.
Well, it's legal. So is the weed shop in Washington.
Yes, but if your workplace strictly forbid you from smoking weed, Jason, then you would not be. You'd be fired for being in that weed shop.
Yeah,
like it's just what it is.
If your job forbids you from smoking weed, that's
the whole issue. Whether it's legal or not, his job forbids him from doing it. So why is he putting himself in a position for it?
Oh, it's totally fine. The world needs to calm down.
I'm not saying he's no.
It doesn't matter if it's legal in the state. His job forbids it. Every job has ramifications. You know.
I think the difference is that he's not walking into dispensaries in in places where it's not legal.
I agree. That's all. Again, to clarify, I'm stating that it's not the best image, but I don't think I don't think it should be scrutinized as much because he's in a place. I would be curious. Like, I don't think in my job, our EP Dan doesn't want me smoking weed whilst I'm coming on camera. So if I stumbled into a store, I'm stumbling in out of curiosity.
Really? I thought you were high as a kite for 2 years.
I'm stumbling in out of curiosity because it's legalized. I'm curious to see what they can put on show. But again, like it's not like it's in my job description the way it's in Ezekiel Elliott's that he should not be smoking weed. So I just don't think it's the smartest decision. But I'm saying it's not like he went into a whorehouse, didn't buy, but you can still be held accountable for browsing around.
I feel that. I just cut no slack because at this point with an NFL contract, you can send anybody to any dispensary, anywhere to get you anything that you need or want. You don't have to be there yourself. So my mindset is, why even put yourself in the position to be looked at and scrutinized, randomly tested, and who knows if the secondhand smoke that your boy smoked last week got into your system. You know, why put yourself in that position? It's a bonehead move.
Fair point. Maybe he's a better running back when he's stoned off his ass. Who knows?
Like Michael Phelps sure is a better swimmer.
Maybe he took some of that Dak Prescott weed. I'm sure that's existing somewhere in Texas.
That was funny. That was funny.
Full circle. Pro dispensary, anti, I guess, whorehouse. So.
Nah, babe, I swear, I was just in the whorehouse. I was just browsing. And besides, it's not illegal anyways.
I was just trying to see what they had to offer. It was a 2-for-1. There was a buffet involved.
I can't wait to run into Ezekiel Elliott at the Urban Garden and take a picture of him while we browse together. Comment below what you think about really Dak Prescott starting in place of Tony Romo, and are you all in favor or all against Ja'Cory, Jason, and Francis in terms of whatever? Just comment.
That was a good discussion.